Have you ever had a quiet feeling that something wasn't quite right in your body? You couldn't quite explain it, but something just felt off. Maybe you started waking up more tired than usual. Maybe your energy dropped even when you hadn't done much. Or maybe you were feeling strange little discomforts that didn't seem serious enough to see a doctor about. Most of us ignore those signals. We say things like, "I'm just getting older," or "it's probably nothing." But what if it is something? What if your body is whispering to you long before it ever screams? Cancer doesn't always start loudly. In fact, it's often silent in the beginning. That's what makes it so dangerous. It grows quietly, hidden behind symptoms that seem minor, ordinary, or easy to dismiss. But your body knows. And it does try to tell you through changes, sensations, and signals you might not recognize at first. Today, we're going to walk through those signals together. The early signs that cancer might be growing inside you, not to scare you, but to help you catch something early enough to make a difference. Because early detection is one of the most powerful tools you have. It often starts with fatigue, not the kind you feel after a poor night's sleep or a long day out and about. This is a different kind of tiredness. It's persistent. It lingers, no matter how much you rest. You might find yourself needing naps in the middle of the day or skipping activities you used to enjoy. And no matter how long you sleep, you wake up still tired. That's because certain types of cancer, like leukemia, lymphoma, or cancers that cause internal bleeding, can slowly sap your energy. They interfere with how your blood carries oxygen. They quietly pull your strength away, and most people chalk it up to age or stress. But when that fatigue lasts more than 2 weeks, and no rest seems to fix it, it's time to pay attention. Because it might not just be age, it might be your body's first warning. Sometimes, that warning shows up as a headache that refuses to go away. Headaches are common. Everyone gets them from time to time. But a headache that persists for weeks, especially if it feels different from your usual headaches, could be a sign of something more serious. Brain tumors don't always cause sharp pain. Often, they cause a slow building pressure, a dull ache that won't go away. You might start seeing double. You might forget simple things, or find yourself feeling dizzy or off balance. These symptoms, especially when they come together, shouldn't be ignored. If your headache is persistent, unusual, and doesn't respond to over-the-counter medicine, you need to speak with your doctor. It might not be serious, but if it is, catching it early could make all the difference. Another sign that often goes unnoticed is a change in bathroom habits. It's not something most people talk about, but it's one of the most telling signs of internal problems. Have you noticed constipation that lasts longer than usual? Or sudden diarrhea that doesn't go away? Is your stool thinner than normal? Do you feel like you can't fully empty your bowels? These can be early signs of colon cancer. If you've seen blood in your stool, even once, it's worth getting checked. Some people ignore it, thinking it's just hemorrhoids or something they ate. But blood, especially when it's persistent, is never something to brush aside. The same goes for changes in urination. Needing to pee more frequently, waking up several times during the night, feeling pain when urinating, or seeing blood in your urine. These are all possible signs of bladder or prostate cancer. And again, many people think it's just part of aging. but your body's elimination systems are carefully regulated. When something changes and doesn't go back to normal, it's time to pay attention. Pain is another sign your body may be using to communicate. We all experience aches and soreness from time to time, but cancer pain often feels different. It might come on slowly, then stay for weeks. It might not be sharp or unbearable, but it doesn't go away. You may feel a dull ache in your lower back, in your side, or in your abdomen. Maybe it gets worse at night, or maybe it starts to interfere with sleep, with sitting, or with walking. Persistent pain that doesn't have a clear cause and doesn't respond to usual treatments needs to be investigated. Cancers of the liver, kidneys, bones, or pancreas often present this way. And because the pain is manageable at first, people delay seeing a doctor. But the earlier you catch something, the better your options for treatment and recovery. There's also something many people overlook entirely: sores that don't heal, especially inside the mouth. A sore on your tongue, a white patch on your gums, a lump on the inside of your cheek. It doesn't hurt much. Maybe it's slightly uncomfortable. You think it might be from something you ate, or maybe you bit your tongue. But then a week goes by, then two, and it's still there. Sores in the mouth that don't heal after 2 weeks can be a warning sign of oral cancer. The same goes for any lump or spot in the mouth that changes in shape, color, or texture. These are especially concerning for people who use tobacco or drink alcohol regularly, but they can happen to anyone. If you notice something unusual in your mouth, don't wait. Your dentist or doctor can help you determine what's normal and what's not. As you can see, cancer doesn't always start with a loud symptom. It often begins with small changes: fatigue that won't lift, a pain that won't go away, a habit that shifts, a sore that won't heal. These are the early signs, the quiet whispers your body uses before it ever shouts. And the most powerful thing you can do is listen. Because when you do, you give yourself the chance to act early, to catch something before it becomes harder to treat, to protect your future and your life. Let this part be your reminder to check in with yourself. How have you been feeling lately? Have you dismissed anything because it felt minor? Take a few minutes today to think about your body's signals. And if you see yourself in any of these signs, don't panic. Just talk to your doctor. Sometimes it's nothing. But if it's something, you'll be glad you acted early. This is only the first part of the journey. In the next part, we'll continue with more early cancer signs that can be easy to miss, including unexpected bleeding, chronic coughs, changes in your skin, and unexplained weight loss. These, too, are signs that could save your life if recognized in time. We talked about some of the earliest signs of cancer: persistent fatigue, strange headaches, changes in bathroom habits, lasting pain, and mouth sores that don't heal. These subtle changes can be your body's way of whispering that something is wrong. But those aren't the only signs. In fact, some of the most alarming signs can come from things we often ignore. Even when they seem obvious, one of those signs is blood. Blood where it shouldn't be. You may notice blood in your urine, your stool, or even when you cough or spit. Sometimes it's just a streak. Other times, it changes the color entirely. bright red blood in the stool may signal issues in the lower digestive tract, while darker or tarry stools may point to bleeding higher up. Either way, these changes are worth talking to your doctor about. Blood in the urine can be caused by a urinary tract infection, but it can also be a sign of bladder or kidney cancer. Even if you only notice it once, don't ignore it. Cancers that bleed often do so quietly, without pain, until they're already advanced. The same goes for bruising easily. Have you started noticing bruises on your arms, legs, or body without remembering how they got there? Do you bleed more than usual from your gums? Or have you noticed more frequent nosebleeds? These can be signs that your blood isn't clotting the way it should, which may be caused by blood cancers like leukemia. When the bone marrow is affected, it can't produce platelets properly, and the smallest bumps or scrapes can leave unexpected marks behind. Another subtle yet powerful sign is a persistent cough, or a voice that no longer sounds like yours. A cough that lasts longer than 2 weeks, especially one that gets worse over time or brings up blood, is a serious symptom. Many people think it's allergies, or just a cold that won't go away. But lung cancer, throat cancer, and even thyroid cancer can begin with a persistent dry cough. Some people also notice that their voice becomes raspy or hoarse. It might be hard to project, or it may sound weaker. And if that change lingers, especially without signs of a respiratory infection, it's worth getting checked. Shortness of breath or wheezing can also appear without warning. If walking upstairs feels harder than it used to, or if you notice you're breathing faster even while sitting still, take that seriously. Lungs and airways can be affected by cancer even before pain sets in. And changes in breathing are one of the body's clearest signals that something inside has shifted. One sign that often surprises people is unexplained weight loss. Losing weight might sound like a good thing, especially if you weren't trying. But sudden or significant weight loss can be a warning. If you're eating the same amount as usual, but the scale is going down, that's a red flag. Many cancers, especially those affecting the digestive system, pancreas, liver, or lungs, can change the way your body uses nutrients. You may also feel full sooner, lose your appetite, or experience nausea. All of these are signs that your body may be under internal stress. You might also notice subtle changes in your skin. Maybe you've developed a yellowish tone in your eyes or skin, called jaundice, which can indicate liver problems. Maybe your skin looks darker or thicker in certain areas. Or maybe small red or purple spots appear and don't go away. Moles that change shape, size, or color are also worth watching. Skin cancer, including melanoma, can develop without much pain or irritation. But the earlier it's found, the better the chances of treatment. Your skin is often the first visible place that internal issues show themselves. Pay attention to what it's trying to show you. Another often ignored warning is a low-grade fever that won't go away. If you find yourself feeling slightly warm day after day, or waking up sweaty in the middle of the night, this may not be just your environment. Low, ongoing fevers can be your immune system's response to cancer, particularly blood cancers. And if it happens often, or is paired with fatigue, weight loss, or night sweats, it's time to ask your doctor what's going on. Lastly, let's talk about something less physical, but just as important: how you feel emotionally. If you've been feeling more anxious, irritable, or forgetful lately, it might not be just stress or aging. Certain cancers, especially those that affect hormone-producing glands or the brain, can cause mood changes, memory problems, or depression. You may feel less like yourself, less motivated, or just off in a way you can't explain. Emotional changes that come on suddenly and persist without any known cause can be a clue that something deeper is going on. So many people miss these early signs, not because they aren't paying attention, but because they don't know what they're looking for. Cancer doesn't always knock loudly. Sometimes it taps gently, hoping you'll listen before it takes hold. That's why this video was made, not to alarm you, but to arm you, to give you the awareness and tools to take action early. Because when cancer is found early, survival rates are significantly higher, treatments are more effective, outcomes are better, lives are saved. If you recognize any of these signs in yourself or someone you love, don't panic. Don't assume the worst, but do take it seriously. Make an appointment. Get tested. Have the conversation. Because no one ever regrets catching something early, but many regret waiting too long. You deserve to live with peace of mind, with strength, with clarity, and with the confidence that you are taking care of your health as best you can. And if this message helped you, even in the smallest way, please share it with someone you care about. Because what you know now might save their life. And if you haven't yet, we invite you to subscribe to the Senior Fit channel. Here, we talk honestly about aging, health, and everything that matters as we grow older. No hype, just real guidance, so you can stay strong, sharp, and well every single day. Thank you for listening, and thank you for caring enough to pay attention, not just to this message, but to your own body's voice. Stay healthy, stay aware, and never stop listening.